Hi, how you doing? I'm just going to do a little video that might help other people with Case Maxim's 5130. This is a 1991 Maxim with no neutral on the power or the forward reverse shuttle. We've had it for well over 20 years. Been really reliable tractor. I think there's something like 15,000 hours on it. But when we were at the corn a few weeks ago, the tractor just decided to stop moving, wouldn't move forward or reverse, and I couldn't get you wouldn't hear any of the power shifts clicking or moving like they normally would. When you move the power shift lever, you can normally hear the power shifts engaging, but I'm just going to show you what the problem was. It might help somebody else. Basically, I had to take off the cover of the center console here, and what I found, we spent a lot of time working through stuff. We started off with the solenoids and the power shift pressure switches, and I also checked the forward reverse pressure switches on top of the gearbox. And what the problem turned out to be was this is the power shift controller unit, basically the computer. It's bolted onto the side of the console here, and from that there is a cable. I don't know if you can see it, but in the bottom of it's in the bottom of the floor, and if you look here, I'm just going to show you, but that bulkhead connector, the wires were corroded out of it and rotten, and basically I ended up sending it off to get looked at. I should have fixed it myself, because I could have got the plug on radionics for about €70, but ended up sending it off to get repaired, and it costs about €600. But anyway, such is life. But just letting people know that if you've no power shift, it's worth checking that plug down on the bottom of the center console in under the gear stick. So you'll see it just in there at the very bottom. Just a few other pointers that might help. Before we got to the stage where we diagnosed that the power shift controller was faulty, we also checked the shuttle lever, checked all the plugs and contacts in there that they were making, and then we also checked on the clutch. There is a couple of switches that need to be made on the inching pedal, and there's also one on the bottom and one on the top that need to be working, and also there's a little leaf switch in on the bottom under the clutch lever. It's off up in here, but they all were checked as well. Some of the other things that I'll just bring you around to the far side that we checked before we got to diagnose the problem was, we also checked all the power shift relays, fuses, and then, which is a bit of a mess, but it needs to be tidied up. But basically in here under the step, there is these power shift switches. It's not very clear, right, but it's just in there. There is switches in there. I'm pretty sure most people are familiar with them, but these are all things that are worth looking at if you have a problem with your power shift. So if you've any other comments or questions, please feel free to ask.